Howard Stern.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
What's up, brother? How are you?
You hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, man. I've been sick as a dog.
So, you know what? I think I'm a little bit better than you are, but I was sicker than shit Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, I tell you, man, this has knocked me on my ass.
Did you get a Z-Pack or any Levaquin or anything?
No, I don't take anything.
No, so you're just trying to hulk it up and do it now, El Natural.
Yeah, I'm toughing it out because I'm gonna. You know what it is, man. I'm gonna build up my immune system.
Yeah, see,
I'm gonna live till I'm 100.
I've already depleted mine. I'm gonna make it to about 60, but at least I can get rid of my colds fairly efficiently.
I don't want.
Yeah, I'm one of those. You know, my theory is if I fight it naturally, I will get stronger.
Now, what kind of regimen do you do, Howard, with regards to how you fight it? Like, or vitamins, blast with vitamin C or anything like that?
Screw that, man. I just get a lot of sleep. I don't even know what this is. I didn't even have a sore throat, man. I just had a whole bronchitis thing going with the fevers and the sweats, and I'm still sweating. I still have like a weird thing going on at night. But
you get like real hot and then real cold.
Yeah,
yeah.
Crazy, man.
I heard you saying
it's like a broad in menopause.
Like having hot flashes.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's crazy. I'm sweating. I'm dying. It's unreal. Were you just talking about merchandising again, man? You're going nuts with that stuff.
No, well, I was thinking, this guy, no, I was, and Brent shot me down. This guy came up with this Bubba beer concept back in the day, and I'm like, Brent's like, no, I'm like, you're right. But he had some great bottles that he did some artwork on us, and I'd like to have a couple of those bottles to have around here. But yeah, I've been going crazy on the merchandise.
I was sitting and listening. Like, I haven't heard you in a couple of days because I've been so ill. I've just been sleeping. So I'm sitting there talking to Tim today, and Tim goes, have you spoken to Bubba? I go, Tim, I can barely breathe. He goes, I don't know. I don't think Bubba's feeling the love from you. I think you better call Bubba.
I think him and Ross are coming down on the 1st.
Who's coming down?
I think
and Ross Zapin.
Ross Zapin and Tim Sabian are coming down down here to the shady Tampa area on April 1st for some kind of big deal.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. So like Tim's telling me, oh, you better call Bubba. I go, Tim. Tell Bubba I'm sick as a dog. I said, this is crazy. He's not insecure.
No. I just told Tim. I told Tim I knew you were sick. I said, man, just tell Howard to call us every once in a while. I didn't even necessarily mean on the air. I just wanted to say hi to you.
Yeah, no, me too. I just been so sick, man. For like the last week, I had, and
Oh, you did great you did great on the Hannity stuff. We played it yesterday, and we're going to play the second part tonight.
Letterman Monday.
Yeah.
You got Letterman again on Monday?
Monday.
Now, see, here's what I find amazing, and I hope that you don't get mad at me. That CBS, they're running you through the ring, or they're being a bunch of cocks. But boy, all about propping you up on Letterman and Letterman. The only time Dave beats Leno is when they have you on.
Well, you got to understand something. I think Les now is caught between a rock and a hard place.
Oh.
Rob Burnett wanted me on Letterman. Rob Burnett, Letterman wanted me on, and so did Rob Burnett. And I think Les is a bully. He only bullies people he can't, boss around. So I think that he is afraid of those guys and afraid to go up against them. I don't know. I heard. I don't know what's going on, but who even knows if I'll make it on there? You know what I mean?
I mean, do you think there could be a last minute, like trying to pull you off deal?
Hey, man, who knows? But then that would be embarrassing to him, too. So we'll see. We'll see what the great CEO does.
And at the end of the day, if he would do that to you, that would just give you the most unbelievable ammunition to shove up his ass on your show.
Exactly.
I mean, he's postured himself now where he can't win.
Exactly.
And I loved it yesterday, and I even told Brent, I said, God, Howard is so much better at me at talking on TV because you're just so natural at it. But yesterday when you got into the whole big, at the end of the day, the stockholders are the ones that the money that you're using to fight me on.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, where do you take – if this is the frivolous lawsuit that every expert, including Jack Thompson, who filed against me for the FCC, he's certainly no fan of mine.
You got the guy in Miami who hates your guts.
Hates my guts. He said, I got to tell you something. This lawsuit is BS.
And then he went into 3 different merits as to why it's BS.
Yeah, and then you got people from Forbes magazine saying it's BS. You got several legal experts on every television channel saying it's BS.
You got O'Reilly, who historically is the most conservative asshole in the world and never cuts you a break, bringing a female attorney who, obviously we skew male and females tend to think that we're a bunch of heathenistics, and she said it's bullshit.
Yeah, so it's really so if you have that, and the guy who cocked up this whole stupid lawsuit is Steve Lehrman, and he's the CBS attorney, and
Hollander.
Joe Hollander, who's a real lightweight. So those two guys figured, well, let's get the heat off ourselves because the radio division's tanking. They brought it to Les. Les told me he spent about an hour reading the thing, which is absolutely no time. Didn't put a thought into this thing. filed a dumb lawsuit, filled it up with malicious crap, started putting what I made for them, my personal income, what my salary was, which was, even Judge Napolitano said I have a great counter lawsuit. You look at all this stuff going on, you go, who the hell's in charge over there? Tim was telling me he heard that one of the lawyers was up there at Infinity going through everyone's emails trying to find something on me that, they could, I don't know, that ruined me. I go, you can look all day. I'm not plotting and planning anything. This whole lawsuit's bullshit.
I don't know if you heard me say yesterday, saying, even up until your last day, you tried to do a good within the parameters that they gave you and all the bullshit and all the 18 dumps that they put you through. You still had A-list celebrities in your show.
Right.
I don't know how much vacation time and how much sick time and how many personal days you had accumulated in 20-some years, but I'm sure it was a shitload.
Yeah, I didn't take any.
And you did not take any. I was telling Brent when we were coming up there to see you at K-Rock, I'd be like, man, if I was Howard, I'd be really screwed. I'm saying, I got a personal day coming today, and I got, I've been here 20 years. I need a couple of sick days, and you never did any of that till the day you gave me a good show.
I would never do that. I'm a company guy, man. Somebody gives me a contract and hires me. I'm there right till the end. My father taught me that, My father used to say to me, if a guy's going to pay you, you show up for work. I don't care what's wrong with you. If you're half dead, you go to work.
And so you didn't play games with them, and
Never.
now these post games that they're playing, all because a lot of their properties that you are on are not, I'm not to say worthless, but I mean are worth probably less than half to three-quarters what they were worth, because when you were getting when you had a 12 or 14 or 16 share in some particular demographic, and those are now down to 0.2s and 0.9 shares.
Yeah, I mean, think about that for a second, Bubba, too. Like, okay, they hired Roth, they hired Adam Carolla. They keep bashing Roth. I mean, Carolla took a huge hit, and so did Rover.
Yep.
And the fact of the matter is, whoever would have gone in there would have taken a huge hit.
Yep.
And now they're going to set these guys up and make them look like failures and blow them out of there and fire them, not even give them a chance to get their own audience going. It's typical. Les Moonves doesn't know a thing about radio, thinks it's television, thinks he can get an audience in a week. He doesn't give a crap about talent. And this guy's the CEO of a radio company and a television company. He wouldn't know the first thing about running it. And he's running it right into the ground, man. He just doesn't want anybody to realize it, so he goes and sues me.
When do you think, Howard, that Sumner will get involved?
I can't believe he hasn't gotten involved. I saw Sumner in a restaurant a couple of weeks ago, or months ago, rather. Came over, congratulated me, wished me the best of luck, said I was a good guy, said that I'd done a good job for CBS. Sumner Redstone. I don't think he even knows about it. I think now he's probably heard about it because there's been so much negative press about CBS, so much negative press about Les Moonves and filing this lawsuit that I'm sure he's aware of it now. Because the stockholders are probably starting to wake up and go, if Les Moonves is filing frivolous lawsuits with the stockholders' money, how else is he using the stockholders' money? What's he up to? Who else is he? How, is he being generous with our money in other areas? They got to be looking into it.
What was the stock at today, Brent?
I didn't look at CBS. Hang on, I'll find out. I'll tell you right now.
I mean, it's gone down. It's tanked.
Well, because this is he thought this lawsuit was going to somehow make up for the losses. He thought he'd fool the stockholders and go, hey, man, we're going to just pick up an easy $500 million in this lawsuit. Don't worry about it. It doesn't work that way.
Like you were going to lay down on it, Howard. Please. I mean, like you're going to say, oh, no, you guys are right and I'm wrong. You didn't do anything. They never.
Well, he thought I'd shut my mouth and just wait for the lawsuit and, and sit there and take crap from him.
Well, he obviously didn't know you too well.
I'm not going to take any crap. I'm way on fire, man. This is only week one. I'm not going to let this guy bully me and believe me.
And the thing about it is he's such an imbecile is the fact that it's week one and you've already been on every major network and have probably 100 standing requests to go on anywhere you want, including David Letterman on Monday, his own network.
I'm not going to let some guy call me a fraud in the newspaper and not stick up for myself. You do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Damn right.
I almost went through a lawsuit last week.
I know. I heard about that.
But, I was like, I'll live to fight another day. And all
you know what it is, Bubba? You and I are probably the two happiest broadcasters right now. We're having a good time. I never could have anticipated satellite being this much fun. And I think the industry, particularly CBS, I think they are so jealous that we have a shot at creating a future, that we're doing stuff that we enjoy doing. I just think it bugs the crap out of them that we're happy. and it's just sour grapes, envy, jealousy. I don't think there's a broadcaster right now in radio who wouldn't give his left nut to join us over there.
And you know, Howard, we talked on Christmas Day when you were in Mexico hanging out,
right.
and you remember what we said? We talked about. I said, you know, Howard, the bottom line is it's very unknown as to what we're walking into because, you know, we're so used to having an unbelievable response and our phone lines always being packed, and you're like, hey, you know, we don't even know what the reaction is going to be. And I could not be more pleasantly surprised with the listener because you've been doing this, you know, 10, 15 years longer than I have. But you can always get a good pulse by your phone lines, by your emails, you know, and our soldiers that are out there talking to us, the WAP pack and the kind of response they're getting. And I could never have predicted that it would go this well and be received this well, and that you can't get a phone call in. And
we're rolling. I mean, you know, you and I were both kind of nervous about it. We were both saying, like, what's it going to be like? Like, you get on the air and, like, there's 4 people calling.
Yeah, Howard and I, Christmas Day, Brennan's like, hey, Howard. I'm like, hey, Howard, you know, what's going to be the worst is when we go to the phone lines and there's nobody there.
I know. And it's just going to be like, well, you know, there's no juice to it. Meanwhile, I was even concerned for, like, you know, the couple of sponsors we let on. I go, gee, how is the advertising going to work? Meanwhile, this guy, Tomato Vine, keeps telling me, he goes, I never got this good a response on terrestrial radio from you guys because you had so many goddamn commercials.
And, you know, we got the between the Tomato Vines and the Vermont Teddy Bears and the Stub Hubs and that adult DVD place.
Yeah, you rent DVDs, gotten a good response from us, too.
And, you know, Howard, now we can accept advertising, some stuff that we couldn't take back in the day.
Yeah, I tell you something, man. I'm just happy. And I know someday this lawsuit will be behind me, and like everything else that's happened in my career, this, to me, Les Moonves is just one more program director. He's no different to me than Pig Virus. He has limited vision. He's a shallow guy. He's really pumped up on himself. He thought he'd just, like, take me and put my tit through the ringer. And really, I know he has no vision. I know he doesn't know what he's doing in this lawsuit or anywhere else in radio. I see he's a man of limited vision. And, you know, I'm trying just to sort of stay positive. That's it.
Well, you know, here's the deal. When in my opinion, when Moonves doesn't have a job, and other radio company presidents don't have jobs because the industry is just on shambles at this juncture, you and I still got jobs, and not more importantly, regardless of how much they're paying you, regardless of how many channels you got, I go to work every day, and I know you certainly do too, and we have fun, and I actually look forward to cracking the mic open.
Yeah, me too. I haven't looked forward to cracking the mic open in a lot of years. I've just sort of not been too happy because of what's been going on with the FCC and everything. And you know what? That's the truth. But don't worry, Les will have a job because when he comes, I'm going to let him clean the jizz off your stripper pole for $4 an hour.
What were you going to say, Brent?
I was going to tell him, you know, I got to thinking about CEOs in radio, and there's only 2 that I've found in research, and there's only 2 that I've found that have really known how to run a radio division. And one is Mel Karmazin, and 2 is Randy Michaels, and that's it.
They're the only 2 that believe in talent, and they're the only 2 that would stand up to Congress and say, that's not what I believe in, and I'll fight you for it. You know,
a lot of this lawsuit is really about that. This isn't really that much about me. This is like Les and Joel, really. They've been pissed ever since Mel left, and they're the replacements, and they're feeling the pressure with me gone. They have no plan in place. You know, I was Mel's plan. They don't have a plan.
No, Mel had a very, very, very well-structured and very well-executed plan, and is doing in his business model with Sirius is unbelievable. I mean, you know, with the advertising and stuff like that, yeah. Mel's got a plan.
He's got a plan, and my point is that these guys, you know, I know Les doesn't have a plan in radio.
Yeah, his plan is to sue me.
And
sue you and put David Lee Roth.
I'm going to say to myself, well, if your plan is to sue Howard Stern, but like, what? Let's say you won your lawsuit. Still, what's your plan for the radio division so that these radio stations don't tank? He doesn't have a plan. I guarantee you. I've looked into the eye of the beast. This guy's empty.
And you know, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday, Howard. And I don't know, I'd like to talk to you about this, but you know, they had 14 months to gear themselves up as to what they were going to do. And I think if they would, and you being a company man, like you said, your dad taught you to be, and I know how genuine you are when you give your word. You know, you gave me your word and you executed, and and you were great to me. But if they would have sat you down and said, Howard, you know, we wish you the best. We know you're going on to here. And we're going to set some guidelines with regards to how many times you talk about it and what have not. But being that as it may,
I was doing whatever they said. I told them, you guys tell me what to do. I did exactly what they told me to do.
And if they would have said, Howard, help us select somebody, and not necessarily endorse them, but help us make the transition. Howard, I know that you're secure enough in what you do that you would have done.
I would have helped them, but they didn't come to me, and that's okay. That's their prerogative. Listen, they want to choose their own direction. My heart was in the right place with these guys, and they really broke my heart with this lawsuit. This is a heartbreaker for me. I am really deeply and personally affected by this.
And look how many...
No way to treat somebody who, I feel like a sucker right now. The guy suckered me in, and then he turns to me and goes, "Well, I always knew I could sue you later." I mean, that's entrapment, man.
Absolutely.
Don't play games. I'm not an idiot. And hopefully, the way everyone's seeing this legally,
and it's just unethical. Forget about legal.
Well, I doubt they get past summary judgment, Howard.
Yeah, well, I hope you're right.
I mean, how much of a shove-up-ass factor would that be if they didn't even get past summary judgment?
That would be beautiful.
and then a nice counter McGillicuddy on the backside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, that would be. Boy, talk about beating your chest and saying, "How about that, you assholes?"
The counter McGillicuddy is the key.
Oh yeah, the counter, because you could ask for $100 zillion. I mean, hard telling what you get, but just now making them have to go through what you just went through.
Yeah, man. Now I'm not a Harvard lawyer, but I know the counter McGillicuddy.
And I don't want you to say, I'm going to put a fucking counter McGillicuddy on you, Les.
Yeah,
don't fuck with the power. Don't fuck with the...
I'm actually preparing a T-shirt now to wear on Letterman that I think everyone's going to like. Yeah, I was thinking about
nice.
it. You go on Wire Image and you take a look at Oscar night, Les Moonves and Julie Chen marching around with his trophy wife.
I loved when you were on Hannity, and you've been saying it on your show about the fake choppers, the fake
choppers, the fake tan.
Go on and look at him standing next to his bride, and he's trotting her around on Oscar night. And I'm sitting there going, you know what? If I had a radio division that was in as much trouble as he has,
you wouldn't be
sleeping. Would I be out there trotting my woman around, or would I be plotting and planning how to make that radio division stronger?
I'll even do you one better, Howard. If your terrestrial show back in however many 40-some affiliates you had, or your Sirius show was tanking, because you're not the head of a radio company, but you're the head of your own 2 channels, and you've been the head of your own network. If your network back in the day, or your 2 channels, was tanking as bad as in the druthers they are, I know you and Beth wouldn't be on any fucking red carpet at this juncture.
Hell no, man, bro. You know where I'd be? I'd be in my think tank, man.
Yeah, you would be
figuring out a way to make it better.
Losing sleep over it.
If I'm a stockholder of CBS, I want to know why this guy's out at parties while his company is tanking. And I'll tell you why, because he doesn't even care. And he's got to get off his ass and do something about that, not go to Oscar parties. And I don't mind pointing that out. I don't know anything about anything, but I know about radio, and I know you got to put work into it.
Yeah,
and you can't be at Oscar parties.
Did you see the article in the post about David Lee?
Yeah.
And he said, Howard, listen, even Howard Stern says you need 15 or so months to get
You do, man.
I mean,
yeah, hey, listen, CBS, please listen to Howard Stern. Listen to people like me. You really got to give people chances. You can't chop the guy at the knees after 60 days, can you, Howard?
You got to let people have a chance for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, years.
To get your real numbers.
I mean, David could have an aberration, Brent, and say, I need to start talking about Van Halen a little bit. I need to give the people a little insight as to...
But you know the truth, though. The fact of the matter is they hired the guy. Now in 2 months they're ready to, discredit him.
Yeah.
That's the kind of people they are,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Let the guy have a chance at least to prove himself.
I can't wait.
And don't you think that article was interesting? What was their directive to him? Try and sound more like Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Is that unbelievable? They're suing you, and you're this.
And you're the bad guy.
You're the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
But can you be more like him, please?
And we're going to get a news girl in there to read stories and have you comment on it.
Yeah. Now, if they make it our black news girl. Oh, by the way, Robin was wonderful on our show.
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet because I was completely sick at that point.
I was too, but God, she's just, I have often, many a times, Howard, been told by various people, man, you need a girl in there, spinning things off, and they always say, like Robin. I'm like, if you can find me somebody that cool, that's that talented, I'll do it. But you can't, she's one of a kind, Howard.
Yeah, you can't fabricate. It wasn't like I went out and hired a woman.
Just to have a woman.
Just to have a woman. What happened was, Robin found me the same way I found her through this woman, Denise Oliver, who was our program director. She put us together, and it just worked out. I mean, it wasn't any master plan to have a man and a woman on the radio. It was to have two, people who really kind of gelled.
And she's so one of the guys, man. There is nothing flaps her up very.
Elegant Elliot Offen was in there the other day, which, by the way, was hilarious. I know he was being kind of stiff with you guys.
It was great.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was.
And he told her, "Shut up," and she just laughed at him.
I got my little 4-year-old Brent goes, Tyler, right? That's what Tyler says now, right?
It was really funny. Some guy sent me a picture where they, I guess with the Photoshop, he made Robin. I had to show it to Robin. I haven't shown it to her yet.
I told Robin, I said, hey, you in that car that Howard bought you? And she goes, oh, yeah, you know, it's I said, man, if I was Mr. X, because I know she's got car service and stuff, I said, you're a big one. If I was Mr. S, man, I'd be flossing that bitch out on the south side trying to get me some hoes.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I'll leave you guys be, man.
Hey.
I've taken up enough of your time.
Man,
I just wanted to check in.
We love having you, Howard, and anytime, brother. And listen,
all right, brother.
Can I put him on hold
put
real
him on
fast?
hold because I got to give him that Iggy.
Give him the Iggy because he may want to do this.
Yeah.
Howard, let me put you on hold real fast, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Howard. Stand by.